Yes, I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these things, but I promise you it's gonna be more regular from now on. Another package came in for me, and this time it's something new. So new, in fact, that most of you are probably still waiting on it right now. Exposition! I think everyone and their mom at this point knows about where Transformers came from, but for the uneducated, let me go over it just one more time. In the early 80s, Takara was coming out with various robot lines called Diaclone and Microchange, to where the Transformers would come from and get their unique designs from. Hasbro imported these toys and gave them personalities and stories of their own to become the Transformers. After seeing how well Transformers was selling in America, Takara decided that they were going to completely rebrand Diaclone and repackage all of the figures as the Transformers, which sold fairly well in Japan as well. Once the Japanese saw that the American cartoon was going to end after season 4, they decided that they weren't going to use the rebirth. Instead, they were going to continue the show with their own cartoon, The Headmasters, which featured multiple new characters, new toys, and one awesome combiner that Diaclone had laying around called Raiden, who was 6 trains that combined into one robot, and were also individual robots. Seeing as how big of a fan I was of trains when I was a kid, I had to see if I could get a hold of these things. Then I realized they're Japanese G1. Seeing as how most people have already done the reviews of the third-party ones, I figured I could get my foot in the door by doing the official Masterpiece Shouki. Starting in vehicle mode, Shouki is a Japanese bullet train. I mean, he is a train bot, so that's pretty well expected of him, especially being from Japan. The name, apparently, I cannot remember exactly. I think it has something to do with who built them. Japanese scientists, something like that. But that's beside the point. This is a very, very nice looking piece. Detailing wise, you just go right down the whole train and you can see all the doors and the windows and all the little wheels and even the rivets on the underside right there. You can really see it right there. In the back, you've got the door to go to the next car, and you've got the little coupling, which I assume will play into the fact that they all combine. All of the train bots will be able to combine into their long train mode that they use in the show. And then in the front, you've got a nice nose section, which also looks like it's got the rivets. Yep, right there. You've got all the rivets there. The windows as well in there. You can see it's pretty nice inside. There's really not much of a cabin area, but I will say one of the functions that is advertised on the box and instructions is you can open this up and you can put Spike from the Ultra Magnus figure, I believe, inside there with these 2 little seats that come with it. But I'm not going to show those off because I don't have Magnus or Spike. But yeah, that's actually really cool that you can do that. And of course, he does also come with a train track. All of them are actually going to come with this. I'm not sure if other ones will come with curved ones, because so far the ones that have been announced, Getsui and Yukikaze, both have really long ones like this, just straight path track. And this is not one piece. These are actually 2 individual pieces. They come sandwiched together like this in the box. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many pieces of track this thing comes with. And as you saw as I started this, you could see that it does sit and rest on the track well, and it actually does roll on the track really well, really smooth. It'd be interesting to see how it's going to do if they have any curved track, because as far as I can tell, there is no turning mechanism in the wheels to let him go around. So I'm going to be interested to see how that gets handled. Now, in terms of paint, because that's what a lot of people want to talk about on these masterpieces, it's a kind of an off-white, creamish color with the dark blue, and then on top there's some silver. I can't exactly tell if this silver's molded. Do they do molded plastic in silver? I'm not sure. But most of this is painted well. And there's really no robot junk underneath. It really does look like train machinery underneath right here, but except for this obvious chest plate right here with the Autobot logo on it. But most of this blends in really well, and you can't really tell that it's much of a robot. It just kind of looks like a model train overall, not really like it turns into anything. Now, usually in this review, this would be the time where I point out some stupid third mode that it has. Well, I got nothing. So instead, here's a picture of Shouki with a Thomas face. Wow, that transformation was exhausting. It took me 2 whole times to film it. I mean, it's not the worst off camera, but on camera it's definitely a challenge. Now, if we want to talk about a transformer that's hard to transform both on camera and off camera, you'll have to wait another day. But here we have robot mode, and this figure looks really good in robot mode. A lot of the colors still come through. I mean, you've got all the off-whites and the blues still in, and you got a lot more blue than you did see in train mode. And let's go ahead and start with the head sculpt here. The head is very, very nice. Very Japanese robot with the head crest and the eyes. Of course, he's got the side vents on his ears there, or where his ears would be. In terms of proportions, he's pretty proportionate for the most part. I mean, you've got these big old shins and feet, and of course to contend with, but that's just how the actual original Shouki was. He had really big legs, and okay, elephant in the room, his hands are freaking huge, man. His hands are big, like bigger than his head almost. These are some big old mitts on him. And you know what they say about big hands? Big feet. Get your head out of the gutter, you perverts. Okay, yeah, all joking aside, the hands are a little big, but I can forgive that. I mean, it's alright, it works. Now we get to the back. Oh my god, what have I got myself into? Jobby be damned. Okay, yeah, this is a lot of back kibble. I mean, it's not that heavy, but it's still a lot. But, I mean, I don't mind it too much because it really does not impede on the figure in any way. I mean, yeah, I've got his knees bent a little bit, but if I straighten him out, I mean, he's still standing up. He's standing up well. I mean, the back kibble is not a problem, like, even slightly. I must say, I don't feel any dice cast on this guy. I'm not really feeling it, you know? I don't know where it would be. I don't know if the wheels, the train wheels are. I'll have to look that up. They might be, but I'm not exactly sure about that. Now, of course, there is a thing or two you can do with this guy. I mean, you've got the gun here. I mean, it's a very standard gun, but it definitely does give me a Diaclone vibe. which it should be because they were originally Diaclone. They weren't one of those specifically made by Hasbro. So what we're going to do, we're just going to tab it in there, and now he's got the gun. And he holds it pretty well, actually. Yeah, he holds it really well. Oh, that's another thing. This arm on mine is a little bit gimpy. Doesn't want to stay on all the way. There we go, we're locked right back in. So, yeah, he does hold the gun fairly. You can also give him this, which the instructions call a shield. Let me get this ready here. I can't remember exactly how to put this on. I think you're just supposed, yeah, you're just supposed to kind of clip it in right there. And, oh, it fell off. Yeah, you're just supposed to kind of clip it in here, I guess. And now he's got a shield. There we go. Maybe, no, you know what, now that I think about it, maybe it's this way. Let me check that. Here, let me go check the instruction. Okay, so yeah, I was right the first time. You just literally slide it in on the top with varying success of it holding on, but yeah, you've got a shield. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it works. So yeah, I mean, overall, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let me go ahead and take his gun out of his hand. And in terms of articulation, this guy's pretty good. He's, for a masterpiece, I'd hope he'd be good. But yeah, let's start here. The head, I'm pretty sure, is on a ball joint. So you get really good range of motion there. You can get almost all the way around. Yeah, all the way around movement. There's a couple of different things you can do here on the arms. Behind here, you got this kibble, which is mainly meant for combined mode. This can just flap out like wings, and then you can kind of mess around with this kibble flap here. The arms go all the way out. They come forward, and you can kind of move them back. Not too far because of the kibble in the back. And then the elbow bends all the way up, and I think you can get a double joint. There you go. You get a double jointed elbow just like that. And then you get complete range of motion, or not complete range of motion, but you get a wrist swivel, and then you got thumb articulation and the full hand moves, and the finger, the index finger is individually articulated. So you can get, yeah, you can get that. Sorry about that. The skirts flip up, and then you get outward movement, and then you get forward movement and back, and then it's on a ratchet, and then you get knee as well, and then there's some play in the ankle. It's kind of hard to get to. Yeah, you got a little bit of an ankle pivot in there, but it's there. But overall, it's really, honestly, really good articulation. I cannot complain. We'll go ahead and do some size comparisons now. Here he is next to my Classics Optimus Prime with the powered Commander armor. Here he is with my previous review, Big Convoy. And here he is next to Masterpiece Cordon. You know, overall, I really think that this figure had a lot to live up to, considering the fact that this is the first attempt at a Masterpiece Combiner, not to mention a 6-character combiner. I mean, it really doesn't scale that well with Masterpieces, but I think, personally, I'm going to probably display mine with my Classics and Generations shelf, because honestly, if you look here, it definitely scales a lot better with those in terms of size. Now, overall, I'm going to say this thing is pretty good. I mean, it does have a couple shortcomings that newer Masterpieces definitely have, but overall, this is definitely a really, really solid release, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with the next ones. Now, I know a lot of the places are varying in price on this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and say that $150 is probably not that bad for this thing. I paid $30 because I had credit on TF Source, but I definitely think that $150 is not too bad, because I know there's a few stores out there selling it for that price. In terms of the rest of them, I think not Shouki, this is Shouki. Gattai, I think, is going for $149, and I think Yuki Kaze is going to be that price once he comes out. So, I mean, they're all not too bad of prices because of how skewed their releases are. I don't think it's going to be too hard to pick them all up. So yeah, overall, I am definitely excited to see what Takara Tomy does with the rest of the Masterpiece train bots. Hey, I've been the TreeBot. Thanks for watching if you made it this far, and if you feel so inclined, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.